My name is Euthalie. Actually, I'm wearing this sound good. My name is Euthalie Miller. I'm president and CEO of Pure Essence Company Limited. My company, we have been in the Bahamas now for the past 11 years, starting in 2009, for advanced air treatment products and water quality. We started out as a company selling ultraviolet light products. Fresh Air UV is a brand that we sell that would be installed in air conditioning systems to kill mold, viruses, bacteria, and allergens. Because if you remember back in 2009, 2010, there was a big issue with mold in our buildings. It's still an issue, but being able to sell ultraviolet lights during that time, one, the product is expensive, and then you have to have it installed, and then you have to do maintenance on it and all of that. A lot of companies weren't exactly moving forward with the product. They just found that it was just easier to get a company come in and do cleanings and set it and forget it, or just felt, well, not that big of a deal. But then now it comes, we kind of have a lot of more high-end home products who deal with our ultraviolet lights, but the technology does work because it's used in hospitals, on operating rooms, as well as a lot of companies in the US are aware of it. It's actually now mandated to be used in all US government buildings. Our products currently, Fresh Air UV is currently in hotels like the Atlantis. We have some products in the airport, as well as private homes in Old Fort Key, Old Fort Bay, Lightford Key, Albany, as well as Paradise Island. Just to give you some background on us, as well as we're in a few doctors' offices and their homes. Now, fast forward to 2020, coronavirus comes about. And in addition to just trying to clean the air, coronavirus throws us a loop in that we have to worry about our surfaces. Everything we touch, anything that anybody says, it's now a problem. Our GT3000 product, this is a product that I actually came across when I went to boat shows, because I actually have a concierge company that deals with high-end products, high-end homes, high-end clients, and yacht clients. And this has actually been sold for yachts as well as estate homes. It actually is an air and surface purifier using, using ion-based technology, 4 technologies that are included in this one system. Just give everybody one of those. So the 4 technologies in the system are PCO, which is photocatalytic oxidation. If you were to go to the back page, open straight up. No, open. Open in the inside, 3rd page. Inside 3rd page. It's a trifold. Open. There you go. So you have PCO technology. What that does is that it embeds all of your touch surfaces. That would be your doorknobs, your blinds, your telephone, basically everything on all of your desk surfaces here. Because you have a lot of stuff on here. It's almost impractical to be able to clean every single item or know what somebody touched or didn't touch. And then at the end of the day, it's just our nature, just to touch things. You can't help with that. Even in terms of your chairs here, somebody comes and sit down, you don't necessarily know, okay, you need to, your mind just doesn't tell you to do that because we haven't been doing that. But right now the machine is coating every piece of equipment in this office right now. All right. PCO technology, that also is taking care of any mold that would be in the office or on your walls. It's also breaking down any odors that would be in here, as well as just giving you a nice fresh scent while you're in here as well. Ionization, it also, the second technology is ionization. What that does is that it negatively charges the air, causing all of your dust particulates, as well as your viruses and bacteria, or anything that's actually smaller than that's down to nanometers, to be able to drop from the air. Most HEPA filters can only remove up to 0.5 microns from the air, or larger. These can actually remove basically anything down to nanometers. I don't know if you had ever noticed that, when a stream of light comes into a building and you look into it, there are these little particulates floating in the air. This system would actually clump all of those together and make them heavy and drop to the ground. So you'd find that literally they just won't be there. All right, and I'm sure that that's something that you kind of have an issue with, like in your warehouse spaces, as well as with the doors opening and closing and persons coming in, or persons with allergies, or with you having carpeting, people walking in and every time they walk that dust comes up, you know, especially if you're unable to clean it as frequently as you would like. So this machine actually would be able to help with a lot of that. So all of, so in addition to just moving those out of the air, it also neutralizes them as well, eliminating them. The program also deals with scalable purification, so that's the breakdown again of mold, viruses, bacteria, and other biological equipment. Basically leaving your home, your area, you know, nice and clean and fresh. Scalable purification, that simply also means that you can actually dial the system up and down to the level that you need it to. So for example, if you don't have any issues with odor, or strong smells, or smoke, or chemical vapors, or anything like that, you can actually put the system simply on PCO mode. Let me just show you that one quickly. So right now I kind of have it on 500 because I wanted you to be able to smell everything. But you can actually put it just on PCO, which is the lowest level the system can go to. So it's still doing the coating of all of the surfaces. Because the machine itself, it's still be able to take care of all of your spaces, but you won't, because it doesn't have anything to clean, it basically just would have like that mild fresh scent. Let's say for instance you did have somebody walk in here and there's a strong smoke smell, or somebody has body odor, or a customer walks in and you kind of really want to get rid of that. You can actually put it at a higher level of purification, and this can actually go up straight up to 3000, hence the name GT 3000. Alright, this can actually remove anything from, and the list goes on inside: pet, dust, standard, litter box, mold, mildew, bacteria, smoke smell, stale air, bilge odors, diesel odors, generation odors, holding tanks, bathroom smells. All of that it would be able to deal with. So if you have an accident in the bathroom, your carpeting gets wet, and you know you kind of have these issues that you know are a problem for staff, this system would be able to deal with that. It's actually a proactive system rather than a reactive system, in that most of the filters, the air normally would have to pass through it to be cleaned and come out. This actually seeks out your contaminants. That's why it isn't dependent on an air duct system or anything to carry it through. Literally wherever you put it, it follows the natural air flow of the building. So even if you have, if there's a situation where your air conditioning breaks down or something like that, you still will be protected. All right. The system itself also comes with electrostatic filtration. I think we went through that a little bit, where in addition to the needlepoint ionization that helps clumps your bacteria, viruses, and particulates together, electrostatic filtration also does that, but it also helps to clean the machine. So hence that's the once a year deep cleaning that filter. All right. Now, one of the main things with the coronavirus that a lot of companies have been doing in FAIR, or government said that you have to be doing, is taking deep cleaning options. With that, one that can kind of get very expensive over a period of time. It's not economical to be sending your staff home for 2 weeks with pay and all of that stuff. And you know, it affects your bottom line. Here you actually have a machine that will be 24 hours a day, sanitizing your air using minimum electricity. Plus on top of that, at the end of the day, you push a single button, which is our away mode, and it goes into deep cleaning mode. So you can actually have it set for 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, or 8 hours, and when you come back in the morning, your building is nice and fresh. It actually would have done that deep cleaning, scrubbing all of your doors, your walls, your carpeting, every single thing that's in the building. If you notice, you can kind of smell right. So literally, it's kind of going into overdrive. It's not that you can't be in the building with that's going on, but it kind of can get irritated for you. So we normally recommend that that when it's performing this mode, that no one is in the building. All right. Or if you actually have a smell that you just kind of really wanted to get rid of really quickly, You can put it in that mode, let's say for about 5 minutes, just to get rid of it really quickly, and then put it back in regular mode. Alright, so literally, like I said, you can just put it in the away mode, just push the button 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, and if you push it one more time, it goes back into regular mode. It times itself down, so if you were to put it in 2 hours, after 2 hours, it'll automatically go back into regular mode. The system also has a way to protect itself, so to speak. Let's say, for instance, we have BPL that are always doing stuff. And let's say, for instance, you were operating the system at 750, 500, or whatever have you. If electricity goes off and comes back on, the system will actually start at the lowest level, and you just simply need to reprogram it to whatever you wanted it to be, as opposed to it trying to start back at the highest level and short out or something like that. So it has a way of protecting itself. All right, so, or even if it was in the high mode, doing the deep cleaning, when electricity comes back on, it'll just come back on in regular mode. All right, but any questions so far? Okay, are there any particular issues that the building has been having other than just worried about the virus at this time?
I know people have had issues with, they believe there's mold or mildew in the building. I haven't heard that complaint recently, but that's been something that's
Right.
talked about before.
So yeah, I talked to so many people, I gotta remember what I said to everybody, and then I talked to him already. But if you do have an issue with where there's actually physical mold, you know, that you're seeing on your walls or on any of your tiles or anything like that, your deep cleaning mode as well as your daily scrubbing of the building, that would actually be able to assist with that, because it does kill mold. Mold is actually one of the hardest things to be able to break down, and literally, because the system kills mold, we know that it can deal with viruses. So that's one of the main things that, you know, personally, dealing with ultraviolet light technology, knowing how long it takes to break down certain biocontaminants, that's why I was comfortable with this particular system, because I know that if it can take care of mold, it will be able to take care of viruses. And on the back page, if you would turn all the way to the back in red, it actually shows, it tells you that specifically, not that, that's voucher. Where it has on the, what dust, mold, and all of that other stuff, it tells you the GT3000 has been proven to eliminate germs on surfaces, including MRSA, E. coli, Bacillus, Streptococcus, and other bacteria, as well as eliminating the avian influenza A H5N8 on surfaces in 12 hours. We have also other studies on the GT3000 and what it's been able to do, as well as the individual technologies. So if you'd like for me to forward that to you as well, I can send that information for you just to be able to read upon, so you'll know specifically the technology that you're getting and what it is capable of, other than just me telling you this. You can actually read up on those studies. Now, in addition to the GT3000, we have our GT50. This is actually our small space air purifier. Unlike the GT3000 that deals with both air and surfaces, this is air only. So literally with this can actually take care of your small offices, your bathrooms, your kitchen areas. So where you can actually just plug it in and it'll quickly be able to remove any unpleasant odors in those particular areas. Or literally, if you have a big space, you can actually put the GT3000 to take care of the large space for your surfaces, and then you can just put these in individual offices. All right. And then of course the Solo has the same technology as the GT50, except that instead of being able to cover a large space, it is an individual purifier. Both of these carry the same technology in that it uses ionization, as well as the scalable purification, meaning simply that you can dial it up or dial it down to whatever you need for it to do. And it uses activated oxygen to be able to remove any viruses, bacteria, and all of that out of the air. Now on to our Vision Box, which is smoked up really nicely. This is to show you one of the technologies that's in the GT, can you see over there? Mm-hmm. That's in the GT3000. So if you notice now, the both box got itself nice and smoky. This is just to demonstrate somebody walked in and they smoked, or, you know, normally you're only able to get rid of the smell of the smoke, but the smoke itself remains lingering in the air. A lot of people, they think, oh, well, the smoke is just there. Well, the smoke is there because there are particulates in the air that the smoke is actually holding on to be able to stay afloat, to kind of get on your nerves, get on your eyes, and all of that sort of thing. With ion-based technology, which is in the GT3000, watch how quickly it will be able to remove the smoke from that space. So not only would it be able to remove the smell of the smoke, the actual smoke will be removed from the space as well. And also, if somebody were to come back into the area smoking, or like that there's a reintroduction, you'd actually find that it's actually unable to build back up. So the technology is actually gonna make sure that you continuously have that clean breathing air space everywhere you were to go.
Does that clean the air for bacteria, or that's just smoke and smell?
This is actually in this. So this is actually the negative based this is actually charges the air to actually be able to clump all of your viruses, bacteria, dust mites, particulates, everything together, drop them to the floor. With coronavirus as well, even like how they're talking about droplets when you're speaking, it would actually cause those to be heavy and drop to the floor, as opposed to be in the air and you're breathing them in and contaminating other persons.
So, layman terms, if we buy this
Mm-hmm.
and we put this in an area,
Mm-hmm.
we talk about sizes later. We put it in an area, then all the person has to do the next morning is come and vacuum, and she's good.
Well, for your well, you'd actually find that you